You ever in the mood to watch a movie that's so bad it's good? That was me a couple weeks ago when I found the made-for-TV movie Mr. Boogedy. This wasn't on any TV channel though. This was on Disney Channel back in 1986. It's supposed to be a horror movie about a family of 5 who own a joke toy company called Gag City. Not a great name. They're moving to a place called Lucifer Falls. The movie starts with the daughter not wanting to move, but everyone else in the family is excited about moving because their company has its first location in that area, and they have a brand new fixer-upper for a house.
I don't see why we have to move to the middle of nowhere with a bunch of farmers and cows and no cute boys.
Damn it, there's no cute boys. I did my research for Lucifer Falls, and there was no cute boys there. Dad, why do we have to move there? There's no cute boys. Dang it. Before they get to the new house, there's an insert of a sign that says, "Not really haunted." Keep that in mind. They get to the house and it looks like this. It's not haunted though, because the sign said so. The dad sees nothing wrong with this and insists that the rest of the family goes in to look at it.
Come on, guys. There are no such things as ghosts. Let's go.
I think the fact that you have to drag your family to the front door, and there's also fog, and your house looks the way it does, I think that's a sign that your family doesn't like the house, and also you should not live there. They go into the house and they can't find a light, but they notice a creepy guy standing in front of the window. He goes on to try and warn the family that the house is haunted, but the dad doesn't believe it. I mean, who would trust a guy that looks like this? He gives up on trying to convince the family, but he leaves them with a warning to look out for the Boogedy Man, and then has a weird spaz attack.
Keep an eye out for the Boogedy Man. Boogedy! 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 Boo!
Okay, Neil, we'll be watching for him. Thanks a lot.
Don't know why you were in the house, but thanks for the warning. It's probably BS, but thanks for the warning, Neil. Hey, remember that sign that said "not really haunted"? Well, the knot blew off, so I guess the troll was right. Sometimes you learn things from the bridge. PewDiePie did. The sons are looking around the house, and the daughter isn't a big fan of having to live in the house.
I bet nobody here ever heard of Bruce Springsteen.
Man, this place is just awful. No one's heard of Bruce Springsteen. There's no cute boys. Why are we even living here, Dad? She goes upstairs to her room but hears some random sneezing and decides to go and find it. Man, nothing. Weird how the light just disappeared. Jennifer, the daughter, wakes up the next morning and didn't sleep well because she's scared of the house. Because no one's heard of Bruce Springsteen and there's no cute boys.
What you need, Jennifer, is a good breakfast. Start the day off right.
That's right, Jennifer. Eat the eggs!
Ari really wants her to get her proteins, apparently. Because he's real adamant about those eggs and they have a bunch of joke toys. I bet you there's not a single joke set up.
Rubber eggs, Daddy? Again?
Mm-hmm. I told them you'd know right away.
No, there was a joke set up. Damn, I put all my money on red and I lost. Knew I should have bet on black.
Daddy, I keep hearing this sneezing.
Honey, people hear lots of noises in old houses like this. It doesn't mean anything.
Believe me, there are no ghosts in this house. Gag City. Just kidding, just kidding.
Safe to say he's sleeping on the couch tonight. If they even have one, I don't know. Later in the night, Jennifer hears the sneezing again and is determined to get to the bottom of it and track down the culprit and give him some damn NyQuil. She goes back to the door at the end of the hall and she sees a green light and passes out. She's apparently allergic to green or something, I don't know.
Jennifer, honey, are you all right?
What happened?
We found you lying here, honey. You were clicking your heels together and all you would say is, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home."
What is that weird reference to The Wizard of Oz? Why? Why did they feel the need to reference The Wizard of Oz? It's like, Oh, she was passed out. Everyone's around her. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Weird. It makes no sense. It's just a random reference.
I saw him!
Who?
The Boogedy Man! His face, it was all yucky and like a grilled cheese sandwich or something.
Okay, wait a minute, honey, wait a minute. Look. There's nobody here. What Boogedy Man?
Look, it's his footprints! Wow.
Look, it's his footprints. You looked right over at him earlier. You just didn't say anything, you dumbass. He starts playing with the footprints because he can peel them off the wall, and he starts putting them all over himself. And he thinks that Neil set it up. And if you don't remember, Neil is this weirdo. Then the two brothers start making fun of Jennifer, thinking she's making all this up. And one of the only slightly funny jokes comes out of it.
Did he have big teeth? Was he gonna eat ya? Maybe he's planning to come back and get her after she goes to sleep.
All right, boys, that's enough.
Mom, we're just trying to help. We are.
It's the dumbest form of comedy, but it works. It's one of the only times in watching this I laughed. The next morning, the boys are playing around in the kitchen, and the Boogedy Man starts going crazy with his tricks, and the boys are now on Jennifer's side in terms of the whole ghost situation. One thing I want to mention, the older brother, he runs out of the room so dumb. Ah, I'm scared! Spooky, scary skeletons, and shivers down your spine. Da da ba. Oh boy. The kids decide to go and talk to Neil to figure out why their house is haunted. To simplify what he said, a ton of settlers like to have fun, and one guy known as Mr. Boogedy would always scare everyone to break up the fun. He then fell in love with a widow who lived with her son, but the widow didn't want him, so he sold his soul to the devil to get a cloak that he believed would get the widow. He then took the widow's son Jonathan as he was on the way to the doctor to treat his cold, and had Jonathan for ransom so widow Mary would marry him. He casted a spell and accidentally blew his house up, and all three died and became ghosts. Also, Jonathan's immune system must be awful because it's been 300 years and he still has a cold. Jennifer should have gave him his NyQuil, huh? After that, the kids go home to talk to their parents about Mr. Boogedy, but they won't listen because they start goofing around with dumb toys they have from Gag City.
Daddy, we gotta talk to you.
Oh, I know you do, sweetheart, but could you hand me the hose from the vacuum first? Thank you. Would you mind turning it on, sweetheart?
Bet you they don't have a single thing set up. I couldn't gather anything from him looking at his wife and winking. I couldn't pick anything up from that.
Huh? Don't you love it?
Daddy had it made special just before we moved.
The mom has one of the grossest laughs. It's so fucking gross. After this, the dad shows the kids that the vac in the box is also a Nerf gun, and the kids begin to get fed up with it.
Okay, go on. What is it?
Okay, we went to the Historical Society.
Oh, no, wait. You gotta look at this guy. Huh? Isn't he great? Huh?
Hey, we'll listen, but hold on. One more thing. Let me interrupt you. Then there's a noise that the parents think the kids set up, but the kids are trying to convince them it was Mr. Boogedy, because it was.
One thing I do know, this house is not haunted.
It's not haunted. The house, not haunted. The house isn't haunted. The house is perfectly fine. Just fix her up. The mom is now on the kid's side, but for some reason the dad is still adamant about staying. Everyone wants to leave, but the dad suggests they camp out in the living room, so they do. Later in the night, the mom wakes up and prepares to make one of the biggest midnight snacks ever. Who needs tomatoes and peppers for a midnight sandwich? A midnight sandwich is meat and cheese and bread. Anyway, she also hears knocking on the door and talks to the ghost of Widow Mary. She explains she can't go in the house because Mr. Boogedy forbid her to keep her from Jonathan. They also need to get rid of Mr. Boogedy's cloak to lift the curse. The whole family starts to go up to the room at the end of the hallway, but Ari hears a noise, so he deviates from the pack. Then, the older brother leaves to go find Ari, and the rest of them go to the door. In the room, a green light was set up as a decoy from Mr. Boogedy somehow.
You tricked us.
And meanwhile, with the boys... Turns out R.E. is fighting with the ghost of Jonathan, who stole his teddy bear the first night they got there.
Ari, do you know who this is? Yeah! He's the guy who stole my fuzzy teddy bear!
Yeah, he stole my fuzzy teddy bear. He's an asshole. They all gather back in the living room because Jonathan tells the boys that Mr. Boogedy is coming. And believe it or not, Mr. Boogedy does show up. The dad tries talking to him, which obviously doesn't work. Then Corwin comes up with a plan for R.E. to blow dust in Boogedy's face, and then he will grab the cloak. Corwin goes to hit Boogedy with some sort of tool or grab his cloak. I'm not sure what exactly he was doing, but then Jennifer calls attention to him. Boogedy then puts a curse on Corwin to make the thing he's holding float up and stick to his hands. He then puts curses on the rest of the family, leaving R.E. the youngest to be the only one who is able to do anything.
You stop it! You stop it now!
While R.E. is doing that, he's not scared or anything, he's just blank face at Boogedy. Boogedy then makes the vacuum be able to move on its own and also work, so it sucks. So the now sentient vacuum is chasing R.E. around, and he hides behind Boogedy, and the vacuum gets a hold of his cloak. Then Mr. Boogedy disappears and everything starts to go back to normal. After this, the widow Mary is now able to see Jonathan. They then thank the family and presumably go to heaven or something. I don't know. I'm not a ghost expert. I didn't write this movie. Don't ask me questions. This is not a Q&A. This is a commentary video.
Well, guess we got rid of those ghosts, huh, Dad? Yep, got rid of those ghosts, huh, Dad?
Yeah, got rid of those ghosts, huh, Dad? Did you need to hear it a third time? I don't know why they had both of them say it, because again, I didn't write this movie. I don't get it. Did they want to see which one they liked better and they couldn't decide, so they just put both? Why do both of them say it? I don't know. It's just weird, and I wanted to point it out, so I did. Okay, on with the movie. It's almost over, but on with the movie.
Absolutely. Besides, as we all know, there are no such things as ghosts.
You wanna bet?
Just kidding, just kidding.
That's weird. That's not normal. My vacuum doesn't do that. They're set up for a sequel called The Bride of Boogedy, but we don't got time to watch that. So for all we know, they got a haunted broken vacuum that talks and blows instead of sucks and goes. So this movie is awful. There's no doubt about that. I don't care for it in terms of movie standards, but in terms of bad movies, it's good. It's a weird mix of attempted comedy with jokes that don't land, and weird, unfunny humor that's supposed to be funny but isn't. If you're in the mood to watch a bad movie, feel free to watch this whole thing. It's on Disney+. But this isn't an ad, so if you don't want to give your money to the mouse, it makes no difference to me. I'm just saying, if you want to watch a bad movie, feel free to watch this one. It's an ample choice. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. Here's a word from me. Thanks, me. It's me. Did you know I have a Patreon? Yeah. Me either. I've had a Patreon for a little bit, but I haven't done anything with it. But I'm starting to do things with it now. So, if you want to be a Patreon member of mine, feel free to do so. If you want to support my Patreon, you could get exclusive content, updates on upcoming videos, and other goofy Patreon exclusive videos and pictures. Non-sexual. So, if you want to support me on Patreon, feel free to do so. Anyway, that's it for the video. It's already long enough. Hope you liked it. Okay, bye.